So I chose the question, upon what foundation are U.S. schools built? And the three questions that I chose to go along with this topic are: first, how can I be a part of deciding factors in the school system where I am teaching, especially as a music teacher? Then, second, what can I do if the teaching requirements go against my values? And third, how can I be updated on major events in the school system? So, with my first question about being a part of deciding factors in the school system as a music teacher, I really liked what Isabel Gibbon, you're in our class, you said. You said, give yourself a voice and make it known. And I really like that because sometimes you're kind of in the background of like all the other teachers, like the English teachers and the math teachers, especially as a more like creative type of subject like music. And so it's important to make your voice known. And this would go along with attending meetings and letting the board know the why of music. Why is it important? And be excited about it. I shouldn't, as a music teacher, be ashamed of anything I'm teaching because it's maybe not the norm at the school. Also, using a valuable creative outlet. I can use my gifts and talents to contribute to the deciding factors and show them what creativity can do. And that goes along with the TED Talk that was given by Sir Ken Robinson. And one of you guys gave that TED Talk to me. I think it was Isabel. It was so good because it talked about the importance of creativity and it gave some really interesting points about the evidence of human creativity. And he talked about how everyone has an interest in education and how we need to show our interest always. Also, children have extraordinary abilities and their creativity um, is magnified. I remember babysitting some kids and they come up with these incredible ideas that I would never have thought of. And so creativity is one of the most amazing things that you could do because it opens up the world of possibility, of new ideas. And children, one thing to know, I really like what he said. He said, if they don't know, they will take a chance, and they're not afraid of being wrong. I wish I was like that. And then, if you are not prepared to be wrong, you will not come up with anything. I thought that was cool. All right, so my second question is, what can I do if the teaching requirements go against my values? I was directed to Esther in the Bible and her story, Esther 4:16. I liked this part of verse 16. It says, I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. She had extraordinary courage and faith, and the things that were being done in that time were going against her values. Um, the Jews were about to be killed because of the way they were worshiping. They were worshiping God, and there was lack of communication, and the king was going to kill them. And Esther fasted and prayed that she'd have the courage to go and tell the king the real story. And that's my first point, is to have courage. Sometimes I'm not going to feel like I have a voice in the school system, and so I have to have courage and faith that my voice will be heard. And then knowing my values, knowing that I need to stand up for my values, I know my integrity and I know what I stand for, and not being afraid to have a voice with that. And especially not backing down because I'm afraid, because that's pushing my values aside, which is never good in any setting. And then focusing on my third question, how can I be updated on major events in the school system? And I've always been told growing up that if you want to know, you have to ask. And if you don't ask, you'll never know. So ask questions, go to all the meetings for the teachers and ask lots of questions, and then doing your own research, because things that you hear may be based only upon opinion, and so it's good to go and do your own research upon things that are presented in the school system, why especially. And then I am just as important as anyone else. I don't need to hold back because of fear of crossing lines. Yes, I need to be respectful and appropriate, but I am important. I'm just as important as a music teacher, as a math teacher, or an English teacher, or the drama teacher. So I can't hold back because of thinking that I'm not enough. And then I need to know the administration. I have to have a healthy and professional relationship with the administration and gain their trust. That way, I will be heard a little bit more in meetings like discussing the system specifically in that school. And then my so what, why is this all important? My motivation should be Christ-centered, and I know I want to emulate him, and he was the perfect example of someone to look up to, someone to hear. And the foundation of U.S. schools are built upon the people. It is all dependent upon the values um, of the want and of the importance of the school system. My voice needs to be heard and other voices with strong moral values so the foundation doesn't crumble. So if I'm silent, then those values that need to stay in the school system will never stay. And not just me, but so many people, if their voice is silent, then no one will hear what really needs to be in the school system. And I'm confident that my moral values can support and help with a school system.